today we're gonna be fishing a brand new pond. See what sort of luck we have. There's 3 of them. There's one right in front of us, one off to the right, and then a smaller one to the left. But looked pretty good from Google Maps, so we're gonna give it a try today. Looks pretty weedy, so might have to switch out from the Ned rig, but give it a couple casts, see what's going on. There we go. Oh. Let's see what we got going on over on this side. So when I get to a pond I've never fished before, I kind of like to start by scoping it out, seeing where the corners are, if there's any vegetation in those areas that fish might be a little more prone to go to, kind of figure out where good spots might be to start casting. Something like this where you can see there's a lot of vegetation, I'll definitely start with something that's more weedless, kind of like a finesse Texas rig, something a little shorter. Maybe later in the summer I'll throw on a longer worm, but something like this, 4 inches, it's good to start with. It's cloudy today, so throwing something a little bit darker. I'll just kind of start on one spot of the pond and just kind of throw in a fan kind of pattern in front of me, one to my right. Next cast, maybe I'll go a little more straight out, cast one over to the left, and just kind of work my way around until I start to see how the fish are working today, how they're biting, what they're biting on. Oh, something took it right away there, right on the drop. Work this one back and cast right in the same spot. Looks like I'm hung up on something. Toss a little further back there and drag it into him. Yep. There we go. Ah, it's something small. Something small. No way there's still fish on there. Holy cow. Holy cow, I thought he came off. I'm gonna have a fun time getting him unhooked. Just look at that. Super tiny. See if we can't get him back in the water kind of gently. There you go, buddy. See if we can't get anything a little bit bigger. Do one more cast. All right, let's go check out one of the other ponds. Check out right here. There we go. There we go. Yeah. There we go. A little bit bigger than the other pond. Almost hooked him right in the eye. About 10 inches. Not bad, not bad. We'll stick around this spot a little longer. we'll keep working this pond in a fan, just like the other one, kind of off to all the different directions and keep moving if it stops biting. There we go, there's another one. There we go, there's another one. Oh, looks like he wanted to release himself. We'll just keep working this shore and then see what else there is to check out here. We'll switch to something a little bigger. Switch to a little bigger worm, still Texas, but keeping with the darker color. Still cloudy out, but hopefully it'll catch something a little bigger. Just kind of try to pitch it into these trees here. Get one under those branches. Oh man. Nah, I'm just in the tree. I gotta sell it more. All right, let's see what we got over here. This pond's a little bigger, so hopefully that means we got some bigger fish in store. A little birdhouse, a little picnic table. Sun's starting to peek through. I think this is gonna be a nice spot here. Looks like maybe a little deeper too. Let's see what we got going. I'm not seeing much movement on the top of the water. Little bait fish or anything, but kind of know they're in here. There we go. Oh, he come off. Cast back at him. Kind of just reeling and then giving it a couple twitches. Oh, there we go. There we go. Doesn't feel too big. Also feels like he's barely hooked. Hopefully land this guy. There's a good looking bass. There we go. Look at that. Not too big, but nice looking bass. Give this guy a nice release. There you go, buddy. Let's keep throwing down this shoreline while we've got their attention. Put it a little closer to the shore. There we go. Give the trees a little bit of a haircut if we can. If anything's tucked up a little shallower. It was a pretty cloudy day, so it's not like they should be too married to the shade, but you never know. Put one out this way. Something rippling by the shore there. I don't know if it's a bass. I don't know if it's a bird. If it's Bigfoot. There's something that just happened there. Maybe a frog. Once we get this in, we'll send a warning shot over there. Charlie Brown Christmas tree in front of us right here every time I go to retrieve, so that's not the most fun. That's gonna be in the tree. All right, we switched over this weedless football jig type of lure. put on like the same 4-inch finesse worm we were using earlier and see if this gives us any luck. Casting out a little further into the middle. Hopefully not get hung up as much. Starting to sprinkle a little bit. Oh man, that was a good sized one and I totally rushed it. Back into his neighborhood. There we go. Wasn't gonna miss that one twice. Ooh, stay away from, oh man. We got him hung up in a log. There we go. Oh, I would have felt terrible if that guy got stuck to that tree for the rest of his life. All right, let's get him unhooked quick. Feel bad for him. He hit it pretty good and then he kind of gave up. And then he got stuck in a tree, so can't really blame the guy. But the football jig works, that's for sure. Maybe with the sun coming out, we'll get a little more action. Try down the, oh man. Oh man, I was screwing around with my rod and ended up with a fish on it. Oh man, that was the most bonehead fish catch of all time. That was, oh my gosh, this guy, head shaker. Look at that, kind of same size as before, but I don't think it's the same fish. Go put him over here so we don't release him right into a log like the other guy. There he goes. That was, I don't know if you guys could see that while I was screwing around with that. Somehow my line got stuck around the cork part. Look at that, there's 2 mallards. Hope they come back in the fall. Go back this way. I like switching to the football jig sometimes. Instead of the Texas rig, get a little further if you're not using a weighted hook. I usually don't use weighted hooks with the Texas rig. I just have like the 3/0, what are they called? EWG, EGW, whatever those. Oh, something thumping on this. Whatever those big offset hooks are, so the weighted ones. So with the football jig, you get it out a little further. It's a different presentation of the bass. Instead of kind of floating in the water column, they'll stand up more on the bed of the pond. Give it a different look. And then you've got the skirt that kind of flares out in the water, so just a different look. Makes it look like a little bit bigger of a target for the fish to go after. So once I've messed around with the Texas rig and getting some smaller ones, I like to switch it up a little in hopes to find something with a little more weight. But with these ponds, sometimes it doesn't matter what you toss. Anything you catch will probably be stunted to some extent. I mean, this pond can't be more than an acre, so can't have too high hopes, but it's definitely worth a try. Definitely worth a try. Especially trying out a new pond, different types of lures. See what the bass are accustomed to or not. There's actually an interesting study, I think it was the University of Illinois that did it, and they looked at bass, the same population of bass in a closed off environment. So they had them in different kind of hatchery ponds, and they would throw the same lure at them, tag the ones they caught, and I might be butchering this a little bit. I might be adding up my own details to it, so you might want to look for yourself. But basically it was showing that bass would see the same lure and they would start to hit on it less. But once they saw a different style lure, they kind of forgot about ever being caught, and they didn't view it as a lure anymore, or something bad was going to happen, and they'd go ahead and try eating it again. Another interesting thing that came out of that study is that the bass that were in the same pond as it, they didn't really learn. So if they saw their buddy get caught, it's kind of like, oh, if your friend jumped off a cliff, would you jump off a cliff? They would kind of just follow suit and not really learn that chomping on something would get them yanked into the sky. But a little bit of a tangent there, but it's an interesting study to look up. I recommend checking it out if you want to learn a little bit more about how bass behave. I came across that. I went to it's a fish and hunting expo with one of my buddies, and there was a live demonstration where the guy had a big clear tank set up, kind of like they have a Bass Pro, and he was just tossing different lures and kind of showing how they looked in the water. And sometimes it's not always the easiest to see if you're fishing muddy water or the lure's way out there. You can't always see what it's doing. So you're just kind of talking through how the presentation of your lure looks, and kind of explaining what you're really imitating when you're throwing lures. This looks like a pretty solid spot right here. Honestly, might switch back to the finesse worm. Yeah, this looks pretty juicy. Got some water coming in over there. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go back to that small finesse worm. Seems like a perfect spot for it. There's a little finesse worm we're using. I don't know, does it say a size on here? Oh, 3-inch. All right, let's give this guy a shot. There we go. Right in the cover. There we go. Yep. First cast, switching it up. Oh, come on now. Oh, not very big. Dang. Not a very big one. A little sunfish. Nice little sunfish. Send him on his way. Oh, shit. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Jumped right back. You got a little airborne on that. Yep, there we go. There we go. Oh, hey now. Yeah, I mean, these are all about the same size. But they're fun catching fish. Fun catching fish. They're fighting pretty good as well, so. All right, thanks for playing. Oh, that did not feel good. Thought I was going in there. Holy cow. Oh man. I just completely slipped on that mud right there. See if that's good luck to catch a fish though. I thought I was gonna keep sliding right in. That was like a full Charlie Brown just took the feet out from under me. That was awesome. Slippery when wet, they say. Oh man. There we go. Looks like it was good luck. Hey, easy. This guy's getting acrobatic on us. Oh. Look at that. The slip paid off. Oh. They'll call this guy slick. That's what the ground's doing right now. Being a little slick. There you go, buddy. Well, on that note, I think we might call it a night. We got a beautiful sunset going on here. Beautiful pond. Good to show a different way to kind of pick apart a new pond, what things to look for. Give examples of changing up different approaches, changing up different lures. Even if you end up going back to the same one you started with, kind of like how I did today. It doesn't hurt to give something a try, because you don't know until you give it a shot. So thank you guys for watching, and get outside and get after some fish.